it does the thumbnail instead of making you take a thumbnail. I barely ever can think of a title for my videos, for my live streams, like last minute, unless I know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. Now, with this one, I did know what I was going to be doing the live stream about, because it's about something bizarre that's happened to me today. And some other stuff as well. Okay, so I got up and I went out earlier today. So I decided it would be a cool idea to go to the park because I've been kind of missing it. And to be honest with you, when I go out late, like I've been doing lately, there's not as many like hooligans out. So that's good. But of course this time I go to the park and there was hooligans there, but they were like in the dark and I was sure they weren't gonna, you know, see me because it was dark and everything. So yeah, I went out like this, but I wore different ear things. I wore my bat ones this time that my dad got me for the first time. And it's so weird because I seldom ever see any hooligans like on the main road where I go when I go out kind of late. But they're all at the park still. It's like they permanently hang out there now. Like since that incident happened earlier this year, they're like always there. It's kind of like the gatekeeping the park and like making sure I don't come, because that's where they seem to like hang out now. They seem to just hang out like at the park like all the time now. Like when I used to go kind of often in previous years, they were barely ever there at the park. Like sometimes obviously you'd see them at the park, but now they're just like there all the time. So it's kind of like they're looking out for me or whatever. Like they're waiting for me. Hi, long time no see. I've been ill. It's nice to be back, yes. So boy, have I got a story for you. Nothing like super exciting happened today, but something happened. And it's kind of a glitch in the Matrix or whatever, because it was really bizarre. First of all, I think even though it was dark when I went to the park, I think that the hooligans did know I was there because it was all kind of quiet. And then when I entered the park, even though they surely couldn't see me because it was dark, they all started screaming and shouting. And I could hear like certain things that they were saying. And I could hear them saying like, excuse me or whatever. And I could hear them saying like, get out of my park or something like that. And I could hear them saying all this stuff that kind of felt like it was relevant to me. And it was just so bizarre and weird. Because they were like far away and they couldn't see me. They definitely couldn't see me from where I was. Because I was at the top and sort of back, so they couldn't see me. So I think that they couldn't see me, but they knew I was there. So they were like shouting and screaming because they were trying to scare me. And they were like banging on this... I don't know what it was. I'm assuming it was a bin because it's the only thing there that's kind of like metal and would make a noise like that, like a metallic noise, like they were banging. Let's see if it's still making noise. No, I didn't make the noise, but it's like a metallic banging, like the banging on something made of metal. And they just kept doing it, and then eventually stopped, and it was just like, why are they making all this noise? Like this, I don't know, they don't usually make noise unless there's like a reason to, is there? Like, why else would you make a noise like that? So they were like making a big deal, and when I heard them shouting things, I could hear things that were kind of relevant. So I suspected they knew I was there and they were trying to scare me off. I remember saying that it's like Halloween time now, but these hooligans are like scarier than ghouls and ghosts. 'Cause they are. Here's Fluffers. How are you guys, by the way? I think everyone's gone now. Fluffers looks a bit rough. Sorry about that. I've been brushing Fluffers everywhere, but still looks cute though. What else? I might talk about the bizarre thing later. But yeah, I got my camera up just in case. I heard them shout the word pedo as well. I'm sure they shouted that. So I heard get out of my park or whatever. So it's like they're trying to gatekeep the park or whatever. It's quite odd. But they seem to be making more of a big deal about that incident that happened earlier this year. Than they have with any other. Because you know I've recorded them before. I have recorded them before, like when they've been harassing me in the street or they've been harassing me at my own house. Hang on a second. Just realised I'm supposed to be putting this in, aren't I? God, here I was thinking that my food has been on the go all this time. It hasn't been. Hasn't been doing a darn tootin' thing. It's just been doing that flashing thing, you know, when it peeps after heating up the grill or oven. It was doing that. And I thought it was on the go this whole time. Anyway, sorry about that. Little diversion in the conversation. Oh, I better wash my hands. I just realised, oh, the torch is still on, you know. I didn't even realise. I'm just going to put that there. My phone stand has gone really loose and stupid now. I'll walk around the table while I wait for the water to heat up. I'm alright, I'm a bit bored with my life. But now you have come online. Yes, I was saying about how boredom is one of the most dangerous, like, emotions that there is. I think boredom is the cause of most evil in the world. Not that you would do that, I don't mean everybody, but I think from what I've gathered, like what I've observed, it's always boredom that causes people to do like the stupidest, evilest, craziest things. So I think that should be one of the emotions that's eradicated from the world. There's not many people who actually do something constructive with boredom. There are some, as we know, but not really many. Like, that's why all these kids harass me, because, well, they've got nothing else to do, so, of course, it's exciting to harass someone, isn't it? Who you deem to be weird and strange, like they all keep saying I am. Even though they are more weird and strange, because look, they're hanging out in a park after dark, you know, that's kind of weird. I mean, I know I've just done it, but that's only because, well, I have a reason for doing it, they just do it because they're just weird. My reason is that I'm just, you know, a night owl, and when I go out, I want to go to the park, and it just happens to be dark. Whereas they deliberately hang out at the park after dark, like they could be doing it during the day and then go home at night like normal people, but they deliberately go, you know, they're probably there all day and then they just continue like after dark. I don't do that. I could never do that. I don't know about loneliness, but I think the three most dangerous emotions is depression, anger, and boredom. They're the things that make people do the craziest things. Because the people who are bored and do the crazy things are usually in big gangs, so I don't think loneliness is a problem. It's usually kids in gangs, and they don't have anything to do. Like, you'd think out of all of these people in a gang, you'd think someone would be able to come up with something fun to do. Like, I know if I had a gang, I would, like, put together, like, a role-play group, like, where we could role-play things and act out fun things like kids do. That's what me and my friends used to do when we were kids. We used to role-play and reenact things like on Lion King and stuff. Like, we used to reenact Lion King and other things that we watched. And sometimes we make up our own characters and scenarios. So that's what us kids used to do. So why these kids don't do that, I don't know. Like, there's lots of fun things people can do. I don't even know why they're not doing them. They must just be really, like, dumb or something. Just don't have an imagination. Now, I'm not really judging because I'm like that at the moment. at this moment in time, 'cause I've been ill for the past 2 or 3 weeks, whatever. I think, oh yeah, today it's been like 3 weeks since I became ill. So I've been ill for my favourite month of the year, October, Halloween month, and I've been ill for most of it. Like, I've only just sort of gotten better now, but I'm still I'm in a funny mood at the minute. Like, I'm in a funny place at the minute where I'm still not quite over the tiredness of this flu. So I've been sort of going to bed at my usual time. Well, actually earlier. I've been going to bed earlier, but then I've been getting up later. Well, during the flu, I went to bed at my usual time, but I got up at about like 8, 9 p.m. So I've been like super late. And then when I get up at those times, I go to bed at my usual time, like 3 a.m. or whatever. So I've only had like 6 or 7 hours up. And I think the first day that when I was like really bad, which was the Tuesday, because I got ill on the Monday, but then I was like really bad on the Tuesday. That's the day I got up at about 10. And I was so bad that by about 1 o'clock, I was really tired and I felt really bad. And I just didn't want to do anything but sleep. So my mum was actually looking after me at that point. So she looked after me on the Tuesday, and then she looked after me on the Wednesday, and she actually cooked and she made brews and she got her own stuff and she even like served me. So I was able to go into the dining room or into the living room, and my mum would actually come and get me something that I needed or wanted. And then I didn't have to do anything. It was great. My mum just looked after me for the short time that I was awake for. And then because she knew how bad I was, she allowed me to go to bed at like 1 o'clock in the morning. But I felt like I felt bad because I'd only been up for like 4 hours by then. So I actually forced myself to stay up to my usual time, which is 3 a.m. And then I couldn't stand it anymore, so I went back to bed. And then the next day, like I say, my mum looked after me again, and same thing, I kind of went to bed at whenever I wanted to, because my mum just got her own drinks and she was doing everything. She was cooking, she was making brews, she was like fetching and carrying for me, so that was really, really good. But then by Thursday, guess what happened? The dreaded thing, my mum got ill. My mum got the flu on the Thursday. So I thought, oh, great. So this meant that I had to do everything. Like, I had to go back to cooking and making brews and fetching and carrying for my mum as usual. So although I was still ill, I was a bit better by Thursday, actually. Tuesday was definitely the worst day. I felt really ill. I felt really ropey. But by Thursday, I was still ill, but I could do stuff. I was still getting up between about 8 and 9 p.m. And then I was cooking and serving up quite late. And then I was going to bed at 3. So I wasn't really up for a long time, but I would get really tired. And it's been about 3 weeks of that. And although I'm better now and I'm not ill, well, actually, Issa, I've only gotten the flu because I had a flu jab this year. I don't normally have a flu jab. I've had a flu jab twice in my life, and both years I had the flu jab, I actually got the flu. So I've learnt my lesson now. I'm never getting the flu jab again. The flu jab actually does make you ill. I've been fine. Like, all the years I've not had the flu jab, I've not gotten ill at all. Not a cold, not the flu, anything. So I'm not having a flu jab again. Because this was brutal. Like, I missed about 2 furry meets, and I missed several meetups with my boyfriend, so that sucked. And it's just messed me up, because even though I'm better now, I'm still like up for a short amount of time. Like, I'm getting up a bit earlier now. I've been getting up at yesterday was about 5:17 I got up. And my mum was like, oh, you're early. And today I got up, it was about after 5 again, but I actually went back to lying down, and I got up at about 6. So yesterday when I got up about 5:15, I was absolutely like, it seemed like a really long day. By about 9 o'clock, we just finished our, like, watching our programs, because we had dinner early, like about 7 or something, 7, 8. It must have been about 7 actually. I'm sure it was 8 o'clock when I actually finished dinner. So the usual time instead of like dead late time, because I've been serving up dinner about 10 o'clock lately, which is really bad, I know. But then about, like I say, it was 9 o'clock when we'd finished watching TV, which hasn't happened for a long time. Usually when we finish watching TV, it's about 12 midnight. So I'm thinking, oh, I've only got like 3 hours to go before bedtime. But this time, because we'd finished early, it was really early for me now. So it's like I thought, oh, I've got like 6 hours to go before bedtime. And I thought, what the hell am I going to do with that time? I can know for most people, like, that amount of time from 5 a.m. to like 9 a.m. and beyond that is like a short time. But for me, that's a really long time. Like, I can occupy myself between 5 and 9 because I'm cooking and then eating and then watching TV. But then after I'm finished watching TV, I've got like nothing really much to do after that. So between the hours of 9 and 3, it's like I've got to like struggle. I'm like really struggling to keep awake. Like, I was a bit tired, but not like super tired. But I was a bit tired. But just like, oh God, how am I going to survive? And this is unusual for me because normally I have lots to do and I can normally think of lots of things to do, but the flu has just wiped me out so much that even though I'm better, I just don't feel like doing anything. I just don't feel like drawing. I don't feel like painting. I don't feel like colouring in. I don't feel like reading. I don't feel like playing on the piano. I don't feel like watching anything on Netflix. I can't even think what to watch on YouTube. I mean, I do have more to watch on YouTube and I've got things kind of set up and in mind, but not as much as normal. So it's just like what I call a funny mood, where although I've got lots to do and lots I could do, I just don't feel like doing anything but sleeping. Like, all I feel like doing is sleeping, unless I'm going out, and then that's kind of fun, but then it's like, what, around the house, I'm just like like Sean, I think Sean said it, like Sean said, he's just bored with his life. Like, I think I am as well. I've been kind of bored with my life for many years, but I've gotten to a point now, like, where I'm not coping as well as I was doing before, as in, I'm coping-ish, but, like, I just can't be bothered doing anything now, and it's just like, oh. Like, I've just become numb, like, where I just don't feel anything. So, luckily, I'm not feeling depressed, but I'm also not feeling anything else either. And that's how it's been since just like this month, I guess. Before then, I was feeling happier. I was, like, excited about stuff. And my mood was better. But now I've gone back into my bad habits of getting up late. And some of the days when I've gotten up, I've not even felt tired, but I've just wanted to go back to bed anyway, because it's like, oh, I just don't want to deal with anything. I don't want to deal with my eczema, because my eczema's been driving me insane again for the past couple of months. Like, it went good, like, in July. June, July, and August, my skin was decent. Not perfect, but it was better. But now, like, again, since September, my eczema's just gone really bad again. And it's just like, it barely clears up anymore, even with the steroid cream. So I have to deal with my eczema. I have to deal with a shitty house that I'm just barely trying to keep on top of. I mean, I'm trying my best, but I just can't do it. And I did a very stupid thing the other day. The toilet got clogged and I had to literally fish out shit. And it was so disgusting. And it was bedtime when I did this and I was really tired. But I had to go through this whole rigmarole to do it. I had to change the bin down here, the big bin. That's right here, this big green one here. I had to change the bin liner because it was full. So that's like a whole thing when you're not really feeling up for it. And then I had to go upstairs. I had to get the little bin that's upstairs by the toilet. I had to empty that out because I'd fished out some shit already, but it wasn't enough. And it nearly overflowed the toilet, even though I unclogged some of it, So I had to empty the bin. But when I emptied the bin, I stupidly didn't put a bin liner in the little bin. So I took the big bin upstairs and I fished out the shit into the little bin, but it's without a bin liner. So it's the actual bin itself that's getting covered in shit. And don't worry, it's plastic, so it's not as like bad as if it was a wicker basket or anything. It was just like I say, it's plastic. And I had to fish out all this shit into this little bin. And yeah, it's just, so now I've got that to clean out. And I just can't be bothered doing that either. Like the thought of doing that, because that's going to be a whole rigmarole. I'm going to have to, I don't want to empty that in the bin. I'm going to have to empty that outside in the yard. And it's just going to be so disgusting. I'm going to have to empty it in the yard, then I have to come back in. I'll have to fill it with water to swill it out and then go back into the yard. And I just really don't want to do any of that. Like the thought of doing anything regarding chores. Because it's never a case of just doing the chores. You always have to prepare stuff and you always have to do this extra stuff. It's like when I cook, I have to clean all the pots and pans first. And they're usually full of food, so I have to like proper clean them out. Ugh, and it's just the idea of it. I just don't like doing anything. But I have to do that every time. Then I have to wash a bunch of plates and I have to wash a bunch of utensils. All of this stuff just so I can eat. Just so I can cook first and then eat. I have to do this whole rigmarole of stuff. And just doing stuff like that that's already dreadworthy, but I do it because that's stuff that's totally a necessity. You can't avoid doing that because I have to cook. We have to eat. So I have to do it. I have no choice but to do it. But everything else is like, it's not necessary. I mean, it is necessary, but it's not as pressing as having to cook and like do basic tidying up. So that's like all I'm prepared to do. And then I feel dead guilty that I'm not doing that. So then I feel dead bad because I'm not doing it, but at the same time, I just really don't want to do it. So it's just like this, it's like this permanent struggle. And to be honest with you, I've struggled with this all of my life. With doing anything. Like everything is just one big chore for me. And I just have these good days where I've woken up and I thought, I feel dead good today and I feel in the mood for doing stuff. But it's so rare. It's so rare. Like I used to think, what's wrong with me? Because everybody else seems to be motivated to do all this stuff. Like, because they know that they have to do it. So they're like, oh yeah, I get up that early and I do this and I do that. Like most people have this routine. Now, I don't know if this happens everywhere, but a lot of routines is like people get up and they go for a jog like in the morning. Like that's the first thing that they do when they get up. They like have a shower and then they get dressed and then they go out for a jog and they meditate and they do yoga and they do a skincare routine and they do all this stuff, all this like productive, active stuff before they even have breakfast. And I'm like, oh my God, This was our routine. You know, when I was growing up, this was our routine. It was get up, clean teeth, have a cup of tea, have breakfast, watch telly for like 2, 3 hours. Like the morning was just, the whole morning consisted, I mean, of just like lounging around and eating and drinking and watching TV. There was no getting dressed. There was no going for a jog. There was no doing anything productive. But everybody else is like, oh yeah, get up, exercise, oh, do this, do that. And all before breakfast, it's like, what the fuck? How are you doing this? I have no energy, no motivation, no interest in anything. I feel like absolute garbage. I mean, more so because of my eczema. When I first get up, it's like, oh my God, you know, you feel like dead rough. Like my skin's dead dry, it's itchy, it's flaky. I do not feel like doing any of that stuff when I first get up. So that's been the main problem that I've had to deal with when I was a teenager, because that's when my skin was like really bad. And it just got worse and worse. And then in my 20s, my skin was really, really bad. But it didn't go on my face until I was like 21 or 22. Then since then, my face has just got worse and worse and worse. But my body got better. So it's like, you know, I was just struggling with eczema on my face now. Like in the last few years, it's been my face mainly that has been bad. Especially the last 2 years. Like the last 2 years, my face has been like the worst it's ever been. And the steroid cream just barely touches the surface now. Like it barely makes it manageable now. So it's like things are just worse than ever for me because of my skin being so bad. And as you know, since I was like 22, I became my mum's carer. So of course that has bummed me out. I want to tell you about some of my worst times, like my mindset and everything. When I was like, when I was, I can't remember when it was, but I kind of coped. Like in the first few years being my mum's carer, I kind of coped until she got a wheelchair. And then like the one time that I was happy, which is going out, I was not happy anymore because now I've had to push my mum in the wheelchair. And I felt like what little freedom I had was now gone. Because don't forget, since I became my mum's carer, and even before then, I only ever went out with my mum because I've never been that independent in the first place. But then when my mum was like, became disabled, now I can't be independent. It's like, you know, I have to be with her all the time. So I was going out with my mum. And I did that for some years. But then when she got the wheelchair, it's like, oh God, I really don't want to go out now, because it meant I'd have to push her in the wheelchair. And she weighs like 11, 12 stone. And I was only this stick figure. Like I was so skinny. I'm only 5'1". And I was very weak. I'm very small. So I had to push this 12 stone person in a wheelchair, which was easy if it was a really flat, really level surface. But as soon as you went up curbs or over bumps or whatever, or uphill, it was super, super hard. And of course, whenever I bumped into something like a curb, my mum would like yell and scream at me and get all upset and blame me and say, you know, I'm a terrible driver and stuff like that. And then she'd make jokes with other people, which was really humiliating, like saying that I'm a bad driver and stuff. And I'm like, it's not about me being a bad driver. It was about the fact that there's bumps and curbs and I'm having to navigate all these things. Like there might be a lamppost there and I have to go round it. Or like I have to go down a curb and then up a thing and then cross a road or something. And it was like really hard. And if I was particularly feeling ropey or unwell when we went out, like, you know, I didn't have anyone to look after me. It was just like me having to push a wheelchair and look after my mum and just mess about. And then, of course, we had like 50 million bags to carry around as well. So that was awkward. And then after my mum's heart attack, she got even worse. So she got even nastier and more horrible. And that was even more of a nightmare. And it just felt like I was just trapped in this nightmare. Like there's nothing I could do about it. And it's like it's still the same now. But my mum kind of has backed off a bit. Like every time she got worse. So after the heart attack, you'd think she'd be dead frail. And you'd think she'd be dead sort of more laid back. Like more docile. But she wasn't. She got worse. She got really nasty and really aggressive and more physical. And shouty and screamy, and she got in my face and she'd shake me and she'd shout and scream at me in my face for ages, like up to an hour. So I couldn't even move around. I was just like stuck in one spot while she yelled and screamed at me for ages. And it was just so awful. And then some of it, as you know, has been on these live streams. Like the past 2-3 years when she got particularly nasty after her breathing problems. There's been like a lot of the nastiness on these streams. And at first I was dead embarrassed whenever it happened, but I'm kind of glad I've got it. I'm kind of glad I've got this footage on stream, because I've been able to do this. You know, get all this stuff on stream. People have like let me know that this behavior is not quiet. It's kind of, people have told me that this behavior is not acceptable and it's not right. And I never, like, I knew it wasn't right, but I didn't really think of it as like as bad as what people made it out to be. Like, even me, I've just described it now and it sounds really bad, but even I didn't really think it was as bad as it truly was. Like, the reality was worse, and that I was actually being abused. Like, I didn't think of myself as being abused. I didn't think of myself as an abuse victim. Sorry, I had a sinus infection and a toothache. I won't be seen by a dentist until November. That's really bad. That's what my mum's going through now. My mum's got terrible tooth pain. Do you have a plunger and a bucket? Yes, but it's a kind of in use right now. I felt like that this morning. I was wide awake and didn't want to get out of bed. I felt like that. I feel like I'm going nowhere and I'm stuck. That's how my life feels. That's exactly how I feel. What about the furry me? I had to leave the live for a few minutes. Oh, I'll tell you about that in a minute. Yeah, so don't let me forget. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So my mum got worse and worse and worse. Like, every time she got like worse, like with her illness, like if she got breathing problems or if she got a cold or if she got any kind of illness or like pain, whatever, she got like really nasty and horrible every single time. Like, when things went back to normal, like her health was back to normal, she'd just be sort of like less of a pain in the ass, like still pretty nasty but not as intensely nasty as she gets when she's like really, like when she's ill. And yeah, so after a heart attack she got really nasty when she came home, and then she got really nasty when COVID hit and we had the rats. And of course she wouldn't kill them, so we had to put up with having an infestation. And of course they did whatever they did that sort of, I don't know whether it's the rats themselves that gave us a reaction, like their fur or dander or whatever they give off, or whether it was the fact that they're running around the house and they're disturbing the dust and dirt and mold and damp and stuff. I don't know which it was that was causing, because both me and my mum got breathing problems at the time in 2020 and 2021, and it also caused my eczema to really flare up. So I was feeling even more miserable because of that. And my mum got nastier because of that. So, because of her breathing problems. And my mum eventually, like after going to hospital a few times for having severe breathing problems, she eventually thought it was time to actually do something proactive in regards to these rats and actually get a professional in to kill them. Now, I know I'm kind of diverting from the subject, but it is kind of relevant in the fact that my mum got really nasty and a lot of it was on the stream, and all of this kind of, I guess you might say, it really affected my mental health. Like during these times when my mum was particularly nasty, or any of the time really, like especially after the heart attack, my mindset was this, that oh my god, I'm trapped being my mum's carer forever. Like there's nothing I could do about it. We've got no one else to help. My mum won't have professional carers in. to help. And like, if I wanted to say stop, like, I couldn't say, you know what, Mum, I don't want to be a carer anymore. I want to actually go out there and have my own life. You know, I want to have a social life. I want to date. I want to move out. I want to get a job. I want to do this, that, the other, whatever. And by this time, I was like, I didn't even want to do any of that stuff. Like, I wanted to have my own life, but I didn't want to do that stuff because I thought that was too much responsibility and too much hard work. But how the life I wanted was, like someone said here, solution is to have slaves to serve you. Like, that's what I wanted. I kind of wanted to just, this would have been the life that I would have really been happy with. So my mum has never been bothered about me leaving home. So she would have been happy for me to live here forever. And anyway, yep, it's nearly ready. And I'm gone. I can hear her going, hello, is dinner ready? Yep, it's nearly ready. It's not really. I'm lying. Remember, like, Rick in What's It? In the middle. Dinner's nearly ready. I'm lying. Anyway. It is technically if I actually focused on it, but you know I don't do that. So anyway. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so if I was to stay here and continue living with my mum, but she didn't become disabled and she continued to cook and clean and look after me. Now, it doesn't mean to say I would do nothing. Obviously, I'd help with chores and I'd do my bit and I'd even get a job and so on and so forth. Like, I'd do all of that stuff, but only a part-time job though. I wouldn't get a full-time job because I couldn't be bothered like getting up at 6 and then working until like 12 at night. Like, I don't know how people do that kind of shit. Like, that would wipe me out even at the best of times. I'd have to have like 10 coffees a day. And that's how you get ill. That's how you get cancers, you know. I'm not going to do all of that stuff, so yeah, if that happened, but that didn't happen. Instead, my mum got disabled and I ended up having to become my mum's carer. And it's just been an absolute nightmare because my mum has just been, like, she's not been accommodating. Well, it's good to see you. You're supposed to greet your boss first, by the way. Oh my God, is this America? Nope, this is not America. Good evening, all. Hi, Anx and Humanum. Good to see you. So anyway, yes. It's been a nightmare. So I really did feel trapped, and I felt like, I remember I thought, oh God, is this my purpose in life? Like, to be my mum's carer. And I can't even do it very well because I just wasn't really interested in doing chores and like looking after someone, particularly my mum, because I felt like it should be the other way around. I feel like my mum should be looking after me. And I remember when I used to complain about this to my mum, she used to say, well, like, this is how it would be if you had children or something, like you'd have to look after them and what have you. Or if you had your own house, you'd have to look after it and you'd have to keep it clean and stuff like that. Like, it's no different. But it is different. Like, at the time, I couldn't explain how it was different. But it really just was. Because it's my mum. I'm looking after my mum. Like, I'm the child. A grown-up child. But still, I'm the offspring. You know, I'm the, whatever you want to call it. The daughter or son. And looking after my mum was just like this alien foreign concept to me. So, and the name, don't even get me started on the name, like the title carer. I just could never get used to it. It just always felt wrong to me. So, all of that stuff just didn't do me any good. So, my mum was treating me badly. I felt like, because my mum would actually literally say this, that the world now revolved around her. I remember this one time I said, no, the world doesn't revolve around you. And she said, no, you're right, but you do. Like, she actually said that I revolve around her. So basically what she's saying, and she's literally said this, is that now she's disabled, it's all about her now, and it's not about me because I'm able-bodied. Like, my feelings don't matter, and my wants and needs don't matter anymore. Axanumanumanum, I wouldn't put that link anymore because I'm literally not being paid. I cannot get my money now. There's no point in sharing my Patreon anymore, because according to Patreon, they're stopping my money because I need to prove that I'm of age, because apparently I do adult content, which is absolute crap. It's absolute crap that it's adult content. Well, apart from my art that's kind of adult. I suppose that is kind of mature, my art's mature and all, but that if you want to help, I'd put my PayPal on here. Like, if people want custom videos or art or pictures or whatever, I'd rather people contact me directly asking me for a video and then pay me via PayPal. So that's paypal.me/royalrosewolf. But yeah, there's no point in people becoming Patreons at the moment because I'm just not getting my money now. They're saying they're stopping giving me my money until I can prove my age with ID. I don't have ID, and apparently I'd have to get a driver's license or a passport, and I don't have either of those things because I don't travel and I don't drive, so there's no point in me having those things. So in other words, I'm getting to do less and less now with, in certain things like websites and what have you, because I don't have ID. So yeah. And I'm probably never likely to get ID because I don't need it, because I don't drive and I don't travel. So, yeah. Yeah, glitching the Matrix, because it's only Axanumanum, Sean, and Issa that are talking. So all these 10 people, they're just robots, I think. And lurkers. Weird, creepy lurkers. That are just watching and waiting for me to say or do something incriminating so they can use it against me. That's what these people do. They watch and wait for me to say something or do something that they can use against me somehow. Okay, so that's 4 people accounted for, did we say? Sean, Axanumanum, Issa, and Anthony. So the other however many is left, we don't know. They're just creepers. Oh, other 4 now, because it's 8. The furry meat. Well, the furry meet was Saturday, so I missed that because that's in Liverpool and it's just too far away. My mum actually got me up at 11, but ideally I have to be up at about 10 to be able to make that, because it ends at 4 or 5, and we only just went out about that time, so yeah, we wouldn't have made it. So although I did go out on Saturday, I didn't get to go to the furry meet, and then the week before it was the other furry meet that I'm banned from, apparently, for no reason. Like, I know most people will be thinking, yes, well, you must have done something wrong. It's like, nope, I did something by mistake, and it was an honest, innocent mistake, and my friend contacted them, and they said, well, because your friend is new, we're going to let them off this one time. And as far as I'm concerned, I've not done anything since. And then, after that, suddenly, like several months later, they get in contact with me via Telegram and tell me I'm banned because of that very first incident that they said they were going to let me off for. Ah, the lurkers are finally talking. Huh? No wonder people don't like furries when they treat people like this. I know, right? Well, at least the Manchester ones anyway. The others have been fine. It's just the Manchester hosts. Ew. But apparently they're clocking everything I'm doing as well, so better be careful what I say, because apparently everything I say and do can and will be held against me in a court of the entire universe, apparently. Seriously, everything I do that's sort of wrong, like minor things, suddenly get held against me for the rest of my life. Like, I do one thing wrong and I get banned from a place. It's like so stupid. It's like so stupid. Who are all these people? It's terrifying. I don't get this many views. Something must have happened. I must be being featured on somebody's prank channel again. Like that one time. Remember when we got like 30 views and I thought this was unusual. And it turns out I was being shown on some cringe thing. And they were sending all these people to my live stream. That was kind of... It's kind of exciting, but that day I wasn't seeing any of the chats. Because it was going wrong at the time. Who are these people? I'm suspicious. That's a funny person, isn't it? Stop repeating yourself. Oh my god, yeah. It's either just a bot or just some... Yeah, they're definitely just... It's like a prank thing or bots. Because I don't really normally get in with these people. Don't normally get this many people, so... Yeah. Very weird. So they're either trolls or the hooligans or something. Ew. Oh well. Even if they're trolls, I guess any fame is better than no fame, isn't it? So I will tell you about the latest thing, and that is that on my other channel, I was getting a lot of love on my other channel, but suddenly now I'm just getting a bunch of trolls on all the videos. Like, all the nice people have just vanished, and now I'm just getting nasty people on there. So I pretty much stopped making videos on there. Because I just get... And it's the same people. Like, one's called Spoopy or something. And they've just got all these weird names and just, like, putting comments on my videos. And they're all saying, like, similar things. It's not super insulting, but you can tell that they're being, like, not nice. Like, two people said the same thing, that I need help or something. Just because I dress up. Like, what the fuck? That's so nasty. Like, what is that about? So yeah, I don't really bother with that channel now. I'm part of the original gang now. I've been here years since I joined your live. Yes. I only trust Sean and Issa and that because they're the only ones who come on my channel. Everyone else is just... people don't exist. Like, I really truly believe this, you know. That when I'm in my own home, like, everything outside of the house does not exist. I've always thought that ever since I was very young, you know. I've always had this belief that, like, nothing outside exists apart from what's happening around me. Like, even what's happening behind me right now doesn't exist, it's all black. But then suddenly it's there. Yay! Like, I can see it in here, but it doesn't really exist, it's just a simulation, because life is just a simulation. I do truly believe that we live in the Matrix. And that everything we see is just a simulation. So pretty much we can just do whatever the hell we want. It's brilliant. And most people do live that way as well. Like, even as young as, like, kids and teens, they just do whatever they want. They don't think anything can touch them or harm them. It's a shame I didn't feel like that when I was young. I really thought I had to follow the rules when I was young. And even now I kind of do, because it's just been, like, ingrained in me, but now I'm, like, learning different. But just the fact that it's, like, ingrained in me means I don't act on it. I've been, like... completely well and truly brainwashed now to a fault that I have to act a certain way and be a certain way and, like, not piss people off and like, I have to watch what I say and do because, well, I have tried rebelling a little bit, like, sort of recent, and it's not gone in my favor. As you know, I've just been banned from a bunch of places now. Like, just for doing really minor things. Like, these are just minor things. Like, other people do, like, major things, like even steal. Or just, like, harass people or just whatever. And they seem to get along fine. But I do, like, really minor things. And I suddenly get banned from places. So, I then act up. Even though I feel like it's the Matrix and stuff. And I feel like it's a simulation. Especially with all the weird things I see around me. Like, the bizarre thing that happened to me today was there was these two benches. and there was 3 people sat on this bench here. Right, I was like coming this way, and I just come around the corner like into view, and there was like a tree there between me and the benches, and there was 3 people, and I was like walking along the main road, and I just turned my head for like 2 seconds and looked back. They were on this bench. They were fucking on this bench now. I didn't see them get up and quickly run to that bench. No, it was just like, they were on this bench, turn, now on this bench. I was like, what the fuck? I thought they'd moved from that bench, but they can't possibly, because in that time it took me to look there and there. I would have seen them like run to that bench, or at least be like sitting down at that point. Or I would have heard them. I would have heard them like running. I would have heard footsteps. Or I would have heard them like whispering, come on, let's quickly go run on that bench now. You know, you would have like seen or heard something, but no, it was like there, turn, now there. Like, that is fucking bizarre. Like, if we're not living in the Matrix, how the fuck has that happened? That's weird. Internet has become a predator, like people are trying to record other people's mistakes and made fun of them, sadly. I think I joined either before Halloween last year or early November. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, I trust nothing or no one. So I just gotta like what I have to do now is I have to train myself to like get out of this brainwashed state that I'm in, where I think that everything has to be done a certain way and stuff. Because clearly, because of my makeup, you know, my inner makeup now, I clearly don't truly believe that. But I do believe it, like, it does make sense, especially because of all the bizarre things that have happened to me over the years. It's strange, even though I have never met you, boss. It's like I've known you all my life, even though it's been only a year. I feel the same way. Well, if the new people really are real and not trolls or whatever, then I'll say hello to you all. But other than that, I'm suspicious and don't trust anyone. But don't worry, I'm only this way as a product of my environment. If I upset anyone, or I'm not always the more forthcoming or friendliest person, it's just because I've been beaten down and just treated so badly by people in my life that now I'm just at a state where I just don't trust anyone, and I think that everyone's out to get me now. But that's because up until this point, it has been that way. Fuck off. Bloody flies. Yeah. Now, I've not been treated like terrible, but I mean, I have been treated. I've been here for years. Oh, right, so you've just been a lurker, like not chatting in the chat for years. Very suspicious. So don't worry, don't take it personally or nothing. I'm just very suspicious because, like, right, I know that like these, you know, gurus and stuff like these spiritual guru people and life gurus and what have you, they always say you're not supposed to, like, let your past define you, or, you know, you're not supposed to sort of think, well, I've been treated this way for all these years, so I'm going to keep expecting to be treated like that because it's happened in the past. Like, you're not supposed to do that, but you can't help it. Like whenever I see teenagers, especially like gangs, I immediately think, oh god, they're gonna know who I am, they're gonna harass me, they're gonna call me Wolfie, they're gonna say I'm weird and strange and blah blah blah. You know, I automatically think they're gonna do that. Like, if I'm in a different place and I see teenagers I don't recognize, I don't expect that. But usually my expectations, even though I don't expect it, but you know, my suspicions are always correct because I usually do get teased or harassed by teenagers. So it's like, you can automatically, it is safe to assume that that's how they are and that's what they're gonna do. Like they immediately know that you're different and weird, and they're just gonna treat you badly. She was opening my WhatsApp chat with others, and they told me what she did. Hey? What are you talking about? Alright. It's strange, even though I haven't... Oh yeah, I've read that bit. I had a friend who I've known for 2 years, and I found out recently she was sharing my private messages with others, and I caught her out. She was opening my WhatsApp chat with with others, and they told me what she did. Even... I know, Issa, I forgave her, but it was awful and embarrassing. Hi, Dean. I'm just getting over the flu. It's been 3 weeks now, but I guess I'm not 100% like well yet, but I'm, getting better. Not 100% yet though. Like right now, you see this area here, it feels like really, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's kind of like having a headache in your eyes. I feel fine. I feel very odd. But it's okay. I think I just need a drink. Let's get a drink. So yeah, that's pretty much my life story. And yeah, so I know you're not supposed to let this stuff bother you, but it kind of does, because it's like, it really does affect you. And how you view the world and your attitude and everything. And you kind of learn to accept it too. It's like, well, this is how it is for me. I've tried changing it before and it's not worked, so fuck it. Well, I've been having these vitamin C things, the what are they called, like these soluble tablet things. I've been having these every day, even before I got ill. And I've been having like B12. All this stuff is for energy, like B12 and what have you. And I will admit, I don't really have much energy, so I'm not sure it works. Online friends are more loyal. It certainly is hard to find friends. Oh no, it's gonna drop out my hands. What the hell is this? How do I get rid of it? No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. What is it doing? Why is it recording the other side? No. I'm trying to get rid of this filter. How do I get rid of the filter? Right. Those are better than nothing. I don't really have many online friends these days either. I can't even be bothered like chatting to people online. Can't be bothered doing much of anything these days. Like I say, it's just because I've gotten used to like nothing happening for me. So like when I was younger, I can't believe it or not, I actually did used to make efforts. I made efforts with people. I made efforts trying to change my life, like in positive ways. Like, like to get more money, I would try and sell stuff, and I tried like advertising my art. And I'm always posting my art on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and anywhere I could put it. And and Fair Affinity and DeviantArt and all that stuff. Nothing. I still, even after all these years, even after I made all this effort, I still only get like 1 commission a year if I'm lucky. And I've been doing this YouTube like for years now, and although I got like 2,000 subscribers, only like 4 or 5 of them actually interact with my channel. So I've not even got like the YouTube or internet fame that I feel like I should have by now. And I know it's because my videos aren't super edited or whatever, but see, I've never believed in that. Like, I don't know, I think that I kind of prefer raw videos like this one. Like, just talking about my art and life and what have you. And, no bullshit, it's just raw, it's just me talking. There's no filters, there's no text, there's no cuts. It's just me being me and showing my real life. I think that's more genuine and like better than all these edited, very highly moderated and saturated and compressed video. I call them I mean compressed as in like you're only seeing like a window into this person's life. You're just seeing them maybe just sat down talking in front of a backdrop or some background, and all their pauses and things are all just edited out, and it's just all pristine and perfect, and it's like so fake. It's like, for fuck's sake, it's just boring. I absolutely love to coming across people's like raw videos and just watching them talk and like showing their lives, like whatever they're doing, and it's not edited or whatever. I like that. I think it's a lot. Oh, what the fuck? I'm getting more weirdos again. What are these people doing? What are they saying now? Oh, boss, no mod. Let me try. Hang on, I can't. Oh, there we go. There we go. Wait, what? How does my managing mothers can review and remove chat messages and hide. Can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live. I don't know what that means. I'm just going to put standard moderator. I don't know. Issa is now a standard moderator. It doesn't look like you are, but maybe when you put another message, it will put that little, like a spanner or whatever. I don't know what it is. Hang on. Oh, Anxanuminum is a moderator. I forgot about that. That is really creepy, someone saying, do I have an interest in kidnapping? Well, I did there was just one time when I got so desperate, I kind of hoped to get kidnapped by someone. Like, because I just wanted to get away from my mum and get away from my life. So I kind of hoped that someone would just kidnap me. I just thought that was like the only solution to be getting away. But the kind of kidnapping where someone would just take care of me and not try and torture me or kill me or whatever. Anyway, don't worry, they're just, all these people are just glitches in the Matrix anyway, so they don't matter. Come on, let's go get more rage. Actually, I'm going to put this here because it'll just, what's the word? The internet will stop connecting if I bring it out from here. Oh, God. Right, so potatoes and carrots. Carrots already in here. One is potatoes, but I'm just going to bring them down because I can't be bothered trying to put them down with everything I've got in my hands. There are lots of weird people coming on my channel today. My live stream, I mean. It's interesting. Because you know they're not going to be nice, you know they're just going to be trolls. I think they're coming from somebody's channel that's just be one of those cringe channels. Those cringe channels. Where they review people's channels and yeah, this person's cringy and that person's weird or whatever. Like, well, if you people are coming from a channel like that, just remember it is Halloween, so I made an effort for Halloween, for fuck's sake, you know. When people think that you're weird when you're dressed up for Halloween, that's just stupid. I remember last year when this woman started having a go at me, I'd gone out. It was only 2 days to Halloween, and most people were going out for parties. It was Saturday night. So, you know, I was wearing, it was kind of like a costume. It wasn't like a full costume. It was kind of like real clothes, but you know, I put Halloween accessories with it. And it's a really nice outfit. But this woman, she said, you need to learn how to dress better. And like, first of all, it's a nice outfit, and second of all, it's Halloween time. Of course, I'm going to be dressed a bit weird. For fuck's sake. It's better to have less viewers who are loyal than loads of viewers that are trolls. Ew. Yes. It's not fun, is it? Anyway, what should we talk about now? Let's talk about Halloween. Because it is kind of like a Halloween stream now. My plan was to do a few live streams throughout October leading up to Halloween. Because I was going to dress in a few different costumes for you guys. But that's not worked out because I've been ill all this time. And now my sleep schedule is like worse than ever. It's like even more erratic than ever. So I've not been getting up early enough to do that. And partly, you know, I wouldn't even want to because, you know, getting up early means I'd have to do stuff. You know, like I'd have to do chores and stuff. And I don't always want to do that. That's boring. Even if I do get into good habits, it's like, well, you just can't keep them up. I don't always feel like doing all this responsible grown-up stuff. I love Bonfire Night as well, but only listen to, I hate it. There's too many loud fireworks, too close. I only like Halloween. Halloween is the best. It's the best. Halloween and Christmas are exciting for me. Do you know what? There's a lot of people who like Halloween but not Christmas, and like Christmas but not Halloween. I don't even get that. Like the whole you have to be a cat person or a dog person, but you can't like both. It's like, well, I like Halloween and Christmas because they're both exciting. One of them, you get to see friends and relatives, or at least I used to before all our friends and relatives either died or abandoned us. Hello?
So can I have a peppermint now, please?
Right. Yeah, my mum's not happy because we're not eating yet. Hope this peppermint's okay. I made her a peppermint, but she hasn't drank it for... Thank you. She hasn't drank it for several days. Yeah, you said I hate that song. Mainly because it was played so much last Christmas, as it happens. So last Christmas the song was played so much. I mean, I don't even like the song to begin with because it's not a what I call proper Christmas song. I mean, the only Christmassy thing about it is the fact that the word Christmas is involved. It's like last Christmas. But the rest of it is just about heartbreak. It's not a real Christmas song. A real Christmas song is Jingle Bells and We Wish You a Merry Christmas and Silver Bells and Hark the Herald and that other one. Oh, The First Noel. I love that. That's like my favourite. And The Little Drummer Boy. Oh my god. The Little Drummer Boy, the version that I listen to, is like really kind of sad and depressing. I love it. There is 9 locations that are having trunk or treats. Dear over. I don't even know what I'm doing this Halloween. I was hoping to find out about a party, but as usual, it's like so lame. I mean, there are events, but they're either too far away or they're just not interesting. I don't know. So poo. I will admit people are making more of an effort for Halloween this year. As in, there's been more like shops, like commercial properties and what have you that have decorated, but other than that, really, not much effort has been made. It's like slightly more effort this year than other years that people have made for Halloween, but not really much more effort than usual. Well, the veg is nearly done now. I'm just waiting for the veg.
It takes 6 minutes.
Oh, there you go.
No. Oh, well, you do that, so it's okay.
Good.
You've got bloody change that, put another half an hour on top. Maybe another hour. Oh, I know.
She's moaning. Who was that?
Let's see. So far, dinner has taken. It's been 3 hours in total. So far. Wow.
My mum's moaning again. They shouldn't have been out at all. Oh my gosh. Did you hear what she's saying? She's saying I shouldn't have been out at all. This is my fucking live stream. Stop asking for subscribers. Oh, why does it keep turning round? I don't want it to turn round. Elsie, here we go. My mum's moaning. Ugh. I hope I haven't forgotten anything because that'll be her moaning some more at me. Alright, well, before I get moaned at, I'm going to stop the stream and I'm going to get on with dinner because otherwise I'm going to get in trouble again, so. And I've got one plate that needs heating up, so I've got to sort that out. So I've got to wipe it, then I've got to soak it, and then I've got to drain it, then I've got to wipe it. So, see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.